Lots of people make New Year's resolutions, but not many people stick to them. According to the University of Scranton research, only 9% of people actually stick to their New Year's resolutions. About 40 to 50% of adults say they make New Year's resolutions. According to surveys by YouGov and Dr. John Norcross, who is known as the father of New Year's resolutions research. Dr. John Norcross carried out a study on New Year's resolutions in the 1980s, and 200 volunteers were still sticking to the resolutions 6 months later. After 2 years, that percentage had fallen to 19%. In the 1990s, a similar experiment followed, with 159 people making resolutions and 123 people not making resolutions, and again, the level was about 40% after 6 months had stuck to the resolutions. In reality, only 9% of people stick to resolutions by the end of the year on average. There is varying research about, so the numbers aren't all exactly the same. Now, New Year's resolutions didn't start as self-help goals or to become a better person overnight. They actually started as seasonal farming promises, not as pressure to reinvent yourself with a hangover on the 1st of January. They were seasonal, pagan, and practical. Around 2000 BC, the Babylonians celebrated the new year during a 12-day festival at the spring equinox around the 20th of March. This marked the beginning of the farming year. It was about planting crops, settling debts, returning borrowed tools, basically resetting life in line with a natural cycle. This is very much in line with pagan seasonal thinking, moments of renewal tied to light, growth and readiness, not arbitrary calendar dates. Later, the Romans shifted the new year to January the 1st, linked to Janus, the god of thresholds and transitions. Over time, different religious traditions layered reflection and vows onto this moment, but the original idea was never about forcing change when the body and mind were exhausted. Winter traditionally was for rest, reflection and conservation. Spring was for new traditions, and we are still in the middle of winter. I don't know if you can see, no, possibly not. We have snow outside, it's very cold here, it's very wintry, and the last thing I really want to do is jump up and start some amazing new projects. I'm freezing, it's very cold here. So the idea that we wake up on the 1st of January, tired, exhausted and possibly hungover, to suddenly overhaul our lives goes against all seasonal wisdom. When you look at it this way, it makes sense why so many resolutions fail. They're not aligned with energy, readiness, or even the seasons. They're aligned with tradition and pressure. Some polls show that nearly a quarter of people have given up by the end of the first week of January, and most already by the end of January. That's 23% have quit by the end of the first week of January, and 40 to 80% by the end of January. By February, gyms are already emptier, and diets and challenges have already gone back to their previous levels. There's actually an official day called Quitters Day, which is always the second Friday of January, which falls on the 9th of January this year. A whopping third of people give up their resolutions by this day. This is Friday before the weekend. Motivation is already low. It's again the dark time of the year. It's really dark, it's cold, it's miserable. Post-holiday blues, no one's got any money, and everything starts to get pushed into the next week, basically. You're like, well, it's Friday, I've got the weekend, maybe I'll go on Monday to the gym, I'll start my diet on Monday, continue, whatever. So this is the day when most people fail statistically. Then there's also Blue Monday, which is the third Monday of January, which is apparently the most miserable day of the year. This is where people are depressed because they've broken their resolutions, they're eating badly again, they're possibly drinking alcohol again, they're still in the post-holiday slump and they're tired, they're exhausted, they're miserable at work, no one's got any money, and it's a few days before they get paid at the end of the month. This is also a key day when people give up. It's not scientifically proven, it's more of a marketing ploy, but Blue Monday is a thing. So why do resolutions fail? The thing is, you wake up 1st of January, many people are hungover. If not hungover, they're at least very tired from staying up late, they've been partying, celebrating, they've had the holidays, they've had endless family, friends, whatever, however you celebrate, but a lot of people are quite exhausted by this point. And you wake up and you're supposed to be this brand new person, full of energy, who just changes everything about themselves overnight. So you go on a diet, you give up alcohol, you give up sugar, you start going to the gym, you start running, you decide to go on a digital detox, so no more social media. All these changes that you make all at once are just impossible to maintain. Research consistently shows that they fail because of societal pressure, because the person's not ready and because they try to do too many things at once. And also when people are tired, broke and hungover. This is a terrible combination to start new habits. Behavioural research shows habits stick better when people are prepared for them, when they're ready for them, and when they want to do them. So not when a calendar tells you to do it, and not when society tells you. I mean, you have these magazines, you have newspapers constantly saying, New Year's resolutions, what are you doing this year? YouTube is full of people's videos, this is what I'm doing, no buy month, no buy year, giving up alcohol, all the things I just said. They don't stick because people aren't ready and they're too tired and they're overwhelmed and they do too much at once. Research has shown that doing one or two things at a time and gradually introducing them is a much better way for these habits to stick. Slow incremental steps, much better than bam all at once, because they will all just fizzle out in a very short amount of time. So here's some examples of what I did. I started going back to the gym and swimming back in November. I joined WellPass at work. I was a member previously and then stopped it. And I did it again. This is where my company pays a large chunk towards the WellPass. I pay a much smaller chunk, and it's like Urban Sports Club essentially, but like on a corporate level. And you get to use loads of gyms, swimming pools, yoga, just anything, even reduced massages and places. And this has given me the option to go to the gym near my house, go to the gym near the office, go to the pool at the gyms, or go to the local state-run swimming pool with my kids. I get in for free, they pay a much lower amount. You can use the saunas and things like that in these places, and it's really great. And it was back in November when I decided that I just wanted to feel better. I need to do strength training, I really need to get fit, because now I'm 50, I know strong bones are very, very important. I didn't wait until the 1st of January. I waited when I was ready, and then I was like, right, I'm doing it now. And it worked really well. And I haven't been now a couple of weeks because I was in England and lots of things at home. We were just loafing around being sick anyway. But I am going back this week, and the great thing is that I have the options around me here, or near the office, which is the other side of town, or randomly I could just go to any pool or anything. And it's a really great way to do it, and a great way to keep it up. Yeah, I used to have a gym next to my work, and I used to go pretty much every single day, a good 5-6 days a week. And I went for about 4 or 5 years, and the pattern was incredible. January the 1st, it was absolutely packed, especially if you went after work. I remember the bikes were always full, the treadmills were full, you had to wait to get on machines, which was insane. By the second week, it was full, but you could probably get on a machine without waiting, a treadmill or something. Third week, it was already pretty empty, and by February it was back to normal. It was so funny, you'd see all these people, and I'd spot them, I'd look at the people, what they were doing and how they were working out, thinking, you're not going to be here, you're not going to be here. And it was actually a terribly judgmental thing for me to say, because when I started, I was very unfit back then. I couldn't even run, I could only walk on the treadmill. But you could tell the way people were working out that they lacked enthusiasm, and they were only there because they thought this is what they had to do. And I hope these people have since then found their own way of getting fit. But this was the thing, start when you're ready, not when the calendar says do it now, not when society tells you, when social media is hyping up this New Year's resolution day, which is the best day of the year to start new things. And same thing goes with, let's say, alcohol. I haven't drunk now since the 2nd of January, I think. We celebrated New Year. We had some Prosecco, which we didn't finish because we're lightweights. So, and we had a half bottle of wine left as well. So I drank those over the 2 nights. And then by the 2nd, I went, right, alcohol's gone. I'm just going to stop for a while. And when I go out with friends, I know I've got a book club in 2 weeks, I think, I will probably have a glass of wine. And that doesn't mean I've failed. It just means I've consciously decided to have a glass of wine if I go out, unless I'm driving, in which case obviously I won't drink anything, and then that's okay as well. But by making it your choice, you're more likely to stick to it. I've done giving up for a month before. I had to give up when I was pregnant as well, and the struggle was real. You're just internally wanting this drink, you're craving the alcohol, just like the sugar. We've sort of given up sugar as well, a little bit as a family, but that's after the holidays because we all had too much. But again, if I find something in the fridge, then I will eat it. I won't waste the food, because that's also ridiculous. It's about making conscious decisions to change your habits and change your life, rather than cutting something out completely and then completely falling off the wagon and seeing it as a failure, because it's not a failure. Even one day of doing something healthy is better than no day. So you fall off the wagon, you have that chocolate bar, you have that glass of wine, just continue as if it hadn't happened, and it's all okay. You know, we are all human and it's no problem. So people judge themselves too much, and a lot of people see it as an all or nothing thing as well, and it's not like that. And the other example is even veganuary, that people go vegan for January. This is a great thing. I think more people should be vegan or vegetarian at least. My little boy, my 7-year-old, he's vegetarian, has been 2, maybe even 3 years now. He sometimes eats a bit of tuna and things. We try and give him protein, and he's very healthy. He's an incredibly healthy boy. He eats sugar-free muesli with a banana for breakfast. I mean, it's just and he loves it. He loves the taste of it. So we do eat a lot to fit around his diet anyway. So I'll buy veggie mints to make a vegetarian spaghetti bolognese, rather than a meaty one that he can't eat, or a meat and a veggie one, because that's just annoying. So we already do things around him. I was vegetarian through all my teens into my 20s. I've never been a big meat eater even since then. So it's something that, again, is a continuous habit with us. We will consciously eat less meat. I sometimes even eat vegan for 4 or 5 days in a row. Actually, no, I'm not counting tea, because I have milk in my tea, but apart from that, I'm not a massive kind of, I don't eat many eggs. Yeah, apart from that, I don't eat much meat, and we don't as a family so much. So it's not about being vegan for just 1 month and then going back on the burger per day wagon, you know. Don't go back to McDonald's on the 1st of February going, yay, I can eat meat again. It's about being healthy. It's about making a change in the world and making change in your own life. And that's really what there should be. There should be a very slow, incremental habits that change your life for the better, and that could even change the world for the better, like less meat is obviously better for the world. So the point of all this is that make the change when you're ready. Don't make it when the calendar tells you to. Don't make it when everyone's shouting, let's give up this, let's stop this, let's start this habit, because it won't work. So basically, you do what suits you at the time that is best for you. And that's when your resolutions will absolutely stick. So let me know in the comments what resolutions you've made, if you've stuck to them. Do you make resolutions throughout the year? Do you have a set time? Birthdays maybe? Some people do these on birthdays. Let me know, and thanks for watching. Cheerio.